Good morning and welcome back to KSNT News here on your Wednesday. This morning we have Shawnee County District Attorney Mike Kagay joining us. Good morning.
Good morning, Brittany.
Well, some big news in the Dana Chandler case that has been evolving for quite some time now. Court documents obtained by the Topeka Capital Journal revealed Judge Robert Fairchild found probable cause to issue a search warrant for DNA. And this explain what the evidence is that was found and why, as prosecutors, you're saying the basis for obtaining this DNA is flawed.
Well, what I'm going to say is that the process that we follow in order to obtain a search warrant, in order to develop probable cause and collect what we consider to be evidence in a case, is very different than the one that was followed in this matter. This was not something that the state pursued. This was something the defense pursued, to be perfectly clear. It's very unusual, this approach. And we have a number of pending motions related to the process where we will articulate our objection and the reasoning behind why we think this process is flawed. It would be, I think, inappropriate for me to comment specifically on that now until those motions have been filed and heard in open court.
Do you think that this will make the trial date become even closer? Obviously, it's been pushed back several times.
Well, right now, Brittany, we don't even have a trial date.
Yeah.
You know, it's been pushed back several times, you're right, and the last time it was pushed back because there are a number of motions filed by the defense that have yet to be heard, and this is an ongoing stream, an endless stream of motions, it seems, and eventually the court agreed with our position, which is let's resolve all of these pretrial motions before we actually set a trial date, because we're going to keep pushing it back. So there's no trial date right now. We're in a pretrial status.
Okay. You know, another big news story, of course, this morning that just came out yesterday is a Topeka man accused of abusing a toddler at a home daycare facility here, now facing a number of felony charges that you released yesterday. And I know that you personally plan to be involved in this. Explain the latest on this case.
Well, I can tell you that we filed charges. Aggravated indecent liberties with a child is a very serious charge. It's what we call a Jessica's Law offense, and that carries a presumptive sentence of life in prison, which is defined under the law in this case as 25 years before the possibility of parole. It's a very serious charge. It's something that when I heard the specific facts of the case, which unfortunately I can't really articulate now until we've had a public hearing, but it got my attention, and it's definitely a priority for me.
Well, for any parent who has a child in daycare, this is a startling, investigation. Is this something the community should be worried about in future?
Yeah, that's a great question, and that's why when I did the release, I included the information. It was an in-home daycare. I have to balance the privacy interests of the victim in the case with public safety interests, and so sometimes it's hard to walk that line, but I did want to make sure people understood this happened in a daycare setting, in an in-home daycare setting, and again, my message has always been to be cognizant of where your children are, who has access to them, all of those factors. Not to say that the victim in this case or the victim's family did anything wrong, but just be aware of where your children are and who has access to them at all times.
Okay, well, thank you so much. Shawnee County District Attorney Mike Kagay here this morning. We appreciate you being here.
Thank you, Brittany.
From there, we're going to head on over to our forecast with meteorologist David George.